Hello guys, what's up and welcome. So in today's tutorial video, I will be sharing with us on how I made this beautiful skirt. It's an A-line skirt with kissy pleats around the bottom, and I also use my velvet bias to make design around it. It's your girl Uwa Apparel. In case it's your first time, you are welcome. Kindly hit the subscribe button and hit on the notification bell so you get to see every of our uploads. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So for the making of our beautiful skirt, we would require 2.5 yards of Ankara fabric. So this beautiful Ankara fabric is what I use. It has a mixture of pink and lemon green color and also has black mixed and combined with it. So if you are like me, I used black turtleneck to wear my skirt. You could also use a pink top or a green top for it. So I'd gone ahead to cut out the fabric that I would require for both the front and the back of the skirt. So I left out a portion for our zipper allowance. So you can see the width of the fabric is what I'm taking there. So it is 24 inches, okay? So ensure that the fabric for the back of the skirt is say 26 inches wide instead of 24 because of your zipper allowance. So for the length of the A-line skirt before attaching our pleat, it is 18 inches. So that's what I just indicated there now. And then around the very top there, the first measurement I'm taking is my waist measurement of 8 inches. And then I added an extra 2-inch seam allowance to it. And you can see me there using my straight rule to draft an A-line pattern, okay? And so I went ahead to cut it out. And you see me now spreading it out on the table. This design is actually very simple and it's beginner friendly. So what I'm doing now is spreading the back fabric on the front fabric, right sides facing each other. The reason why I'm doing this is to be able to run my stitches on both sides of my skirt. So ensure that before running your stitch, you take your seam allowance measurement again so that after it is done, your waist will sit properly and it will not be loose. So I'd gone ahead now to run my stitches and I flipped it over to the right side. So now on the table, I have my fabric for the pleats that I'm going to be making for the bottom of this skirt. So the length is actually 3.5 inches of length, okay? So the width is say about 10 inches, while the length is about 3.5 yards of length. So what I'm doing now is making fold on both edges of the fabric. So I'd gone ahead to the sewing machine to run my stitches on both edge of the fabric that I'll be using for my pleats. So I'm simply spreading my A-line skirt on the table now because I'm going to be making my pleats on it right away. Okay, so kissy pleats is quite simple. It's making pleats in opposite direction. So you can see what I just did now. You can hold your pleats in place using your pins if you are a beginner. Because I'm simply illustrating, that is why you see me using my fingers to make the pleats there. So I didn't bother to use my pins to hold it. And I hope you understood it very well. Because of the color of the fabric, it was very difficult for me to show very clearly what the pleats are looking like, but they're actually very beautiful. So it is neatly done. As you can see, all the edges around the bottom or the hemline of the skirt have nice pleats. So next to this, you can see I had flipped open my skirt pattern. On both sides of the A-line shape, you can see me making pleats on both sides. Now, the reason for this is because These two sides of the skirt will be dropping lower than the front and the back of the skirt. So if you want your size to drop very well, you don't need to make this pleats that I am making. But it also made the skirt look more unique after I made my pleats. So after holding the pleats in place using my pin as you see me do right now, I'll go ahead to the sewing machine and run my top stitch on it. And then I would also be repeating the same for the other side. Okay, so that is what I'm simply doing right now. So I am trying to get the exact length of where I made my pleats using my tape, so I'll be able to do it correctly on the other side. So the pleats I made on the sides are only 3 steps, 3 pleats. Okay, so after making my pleats, I actually stitch my bias velvet on the kissy pleats portion of this kit. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I deleted the video where I did or I gave the illustration on how I stitched my velvet bias, but it is quite simple. And as you can see, this is what the pleats portion is looking like after I attached my velvet bias. So ensure that the velvet bias you use for yours is the one that is shiny. There are different bias in the market, but this shiny one is quite unique and very lovely. Okay, so next now I am closing the back of the skirt, but before I do that I had to take measurement for where my zipper is going to be, and then I'll be running stitches all the way around the zipper area to the bottom of the skirt at the back. Okay, so after I was done attaching my zipper, this is what it is looking like. You can see the zipper head came out a little bit above the waistline of the skirt. The reason for this is because of the band that I'm going to be attaching on the waist of my skirt. So the zipper is going to, the zipper head is going to be covered by the waistband for this skirt. So this piece of fabric you're seeing me hold now is what I'm going to be using for my waistband. So it's a simple, sewing pattern for the making of this band. Okay, so I simply folded it in two and ran my stitches on it before attaching it on my skirt. So what I just did is to get the midpoint of the band first of all, and then also I got the midpoint of the skirt from the front side of the skirt, and I'm simply placing the band on the skirt from the middle, and then I'm going to be holding it in place using my pins all the way to the back where I have my zipper. And after holding it in place, I would go ahead to the sewing machine to run my stitches on my band. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video so far. If at this point you haven't subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button, as that will show that you are a part of our sewing community. So that's basically it for the making of our beautiful A-line skirt with pleat ruffles. So after I was done stitching my waistband, this is what it is looking like. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are a beginner, it is something worth trying out. So thank you so much for stopping by today. Thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you on the next